From Steve's beer can, right to your heart. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 264. I'm Chris.
I'm Steve. And don't lie to them. I'm not drinking beer.
Are you afraid? Would the keto police come after you if I?
This isn't fucking Scott Pilgrim. I wouldn't lose my keto powers.
Who is it? No, it's not. It's Vegan Powers, right?
Yeah.
In Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. Oh, what a film! What a film! What a film! Have you read any of the graphic novels, the comics themselves?
I have not.
I haven't either.
I always kind of wanted to.
Yeah, I didn't. I have no interest. The art looks like absolute shit. But the movie looks awesome.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's very minimalist, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's good for what it is. But having seen the movie, first, I cannot imagine going to the comic book and finding it satisfying.
Well, I mean, like they even made a video game, which is like a River City Ransom kind of arcade beat 'em up kind of game, and it's pretty terrific.
Yeah,
I have it on the PS
in the style of the comics.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have it on PS3. Actually, I'm lucky. I'm one of the because it's one of those games that fell off the PlayStation Network. No. It was download only.
Oh, okay.
And so basically, you couldn't buy a physical copy of it,
right?
And they don't have it on the PlayStation Store anymore.
Oh,
so I think maybe some sort of rights issue with. I think Universal was the film production, and I don't know if there was some problems or something or other. So
yeah, could be.
I have a game that's hard to get,
but you liked playing it.
I haven't played it in a while, but it's fun to play.
I meant liked, like past tense.
Yes.
You liked playing it.
Yeah, it was good. It was one of the first games I bought digitally on my PS3.
Interesting. I don't know why. Sometimes I try to think of why I'm a snob for comics art. And I don't know if it's because of when I came up in terms of my comics reading. But there definitely seemed to be a trend after my sort of formative years as a comic book reader. So getting into the later 90s and into the aughts, where what I would describe as shitty art became almost the norm, where people this is not to say that I don't like different styles, but like a cartoony style can work and does work in a lot of places. But there are people who work in comics who just can't draw, including the people who worked on Neil Gaiman's Sandman for most of the time. People have told me you would love Sandman. You should go read Sandman. And I did read one volume of it, and it was torture because the art was such shit. And I just don't know how people can do it.
What, bad art?
Read and revere books, comic books with bad art.
Well, I mean, you think it's bad. Other people might.
It's objectively bad.
No, I mean, everybody has different opinions on what they consider to be beautiful. There are people that I find disgusting that are fucking married and happy with somebody that loves them very much, and vice versa.
Okay. What I'm saying is, one of the rules in my classroom when we're critiquing bits of writing is that we have to determine what the piece of writing or expand that into piece of art, piece of whatever. What is it trying to do? And is it succeeding at what it's trying to do? And so what I would consider to be shitty comic book art is trying to be good comic book art. Or trying to be not even good. It's trying to be this thing that it's not succeeding at, right? There are other people who are doing something that is in a completely weird, wacky way. Perfect example of this, Sam Keith, who might actually have been one of the pencilers on Sandman, now that I think about it, earlier in his career. But Sam Keith was a guy who designed a character for Image Comics called the Max, which was then turned into
An MTV animated series.
Right. And there is a style to Sam Keith's art. Is that Sam? I think it's Sam Keith. Sam Keith's artwork that once he developed it was very distinct and was successful at what it was trying to do. There are lots of people who then tried to draw like Sam Keith and failed to draw like Sam Keith. And yet, because at the time, in the 90s, Marvel and DC were pumping out book after book after book. It was the middle of the speculators boom.
That was me in like the I'd say late 90s, only with loads.
Wait,
pumping them out.
Just pumping them out. I never pumped them out. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
So you'd have artists. You'd have an artist that went big, and you'd have a whole bunch of artists.
And you'd have other artists that went home.
Yes. I
think a lot of people that are critical or were initially critical of One Piece didn't like it because of the art style. Like initially, I mean, now that it's, been going on for fucking 23 years at this point, come July.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a standard, action manga at this point.
Right.
But back then, like, the art style was a lot more cartoony and
okay.
And a little loony.
Are they? Was it invading
no,
our TV?
like,
when did it invade our TV?
I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, but like, yeah, like it had a sort of odd kind of Disney style to it, and some people appreciated it. At that point, some people didn't like the like. Right. It has become like I think it usually teeters like sometimes another comic overtakes it, but majority of the time it has been the number one manga in Japan.
Okay.
And in some other countries, not here in the States. People don't like it in the States for some reason. Right. It might be because initially art style is weird or weird. And then it's a big undertaking that has not yet completed. So it's like, I think tomorrow chapter 970 something drops. And we're coming up on 1,000.
Yeah.
And
but they're not batting 1,000.
I mean, there's some problematic One Piece.
But it's this. Is it the same artist this entire time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think.
I mean, he has background. Well, he has assistants, and typically, if it's a character, any sort of human being or whatever else, he's drawing it.
Yeah.
But a lot of a lot of the backgrounds and a lot of other stuff I think is done by his assistants. But depending on it's like when they started this current arc, like there was a lot of like old Japanese art that he was incorporating into it. So I don't know if he was doing that or if the background people or his assistants were doing it, or I imagine he was because like he had this vision, or maybe they were. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, like. The people that didn't necessarily like it at first, like his art style changed every couple of years just because he just got better at drawing the characters, and there's certain story arcs that have like drastically different kind of styles as far as like panel layout and whatnot, just because of like it helped with like the gravity of the situation. Like Water 7 is like, I think artistically one of his most jarring arcs, but it's also one of my favorites. And so like it's just like the weird angles, and it's a lot of subterfuge and intrigue and like, oh, what the fuck is happening? Like, and everything's going, what the fuck, sideways.
Yeah. That's the way things traditionally go in comics.
But like if you look at an artist, or like you were saying, this fella that I forgot his name,
Sam
Keith.
Yeah.
If you like, let's just say a movie, like for a director that you like.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you're like, let's look into some of his older catalog.
Right.
And you find that it's not as good. And you like if you had seen that first, you might not have delved more into him. But then if you see his good stuff and then go back to his old stuff, you can see the beginnings of the way he's going to develop as a director.
Right.
So like saying things are bad isn't necessarily or shitty or whatever. Like
I think the point that I'm trying to make is I think it's totally okay if you've got an artist who's working on something over time and the style develops, right? Cool, fine. I think and I think that's actually really good because that's somebody working on their own thing and working on it for a very, very long time. I've kind of got two different points here, and they're going off in different directions. There's the one about what I would consider unconventional art, which was where I started in terms of Scott Pilgrim. And then there's the other, which is the sort of derivative and not very good derivative art that I was talking about in terms of Sandman and 90s comics and things like that. When a true New
when the
Warriors
fuck did I become
would,
such a diplomat? What the fuck?
A real New Warriors fan would know that. What would I know? I know what I know.
You know that it's not cool to not appreciate art.
But there were one of the best comic book artists of the last 30-something years was the artist for the first 25 issues of New Warriors, Mark Bagley, however you pronounce it. And
Bagleg?
the guy who took over was early in his career. But what? Oh my gosh! Why is his name escaping me?
What was was it Speedball?
Speedball was one of the characters. Yeah.
How the fuck did they not know? How did they not know that a speedball was heroin mixed with cocaine?
What makes you think they didn't know? I think the character was created in the mid to late 80s. I'm pretty sure whoever created him had probably done a fucking speedball. I mean, he shows
but
up...
you don't want to say, "Hey kids, this superhero."
Robbie Baldwin,
yep. Speedball is also
first appearance in an Amazing Spider-Man annual. I forget.
This is the internet's just around the corner. People could search and be like Speedball, and they're like heroin.
But the internet is not there yet.
Or people could be like Speedball. That's a thing that I heard. My older brother, my older brother, whose uncle works for Nintendo, says that a speedball is when you mix heroin and cocaine. And you get the Super Nintendo early.
Maybe it was all part of the Speedball industrial.
So that Super Mario Brothers 4 is coming out. Did you have a friend who's
so bad?
Did you have a friend whose cousin or whatever? Or
I didn't have any friends.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead.
I think Yucko was the one that had the friend that would say blah blah blah.
Oh, okay.
So and so friend a friend of mine uncle works for Nintendo, and they said Super Mario 64 is going to be Super Mario 65. That's when Super Mario gets to retire.
Mario 65. We got horribly off topic. I mean, I don't know where I was.
I want to have
Speedball, the New Warriors, Derek Robertson. Thank you. That's who I was trying to remember. Derek Robertson, early in his career, not what he would become, but a very good replacement for Mark Bagley, and then a bunch of shitty people after that.
We need to have a guest on sometime soon, because I want to talk video games, and you are not the person to talk video games.
I played some Mortal Kombat the other day.
Yeah, that's
my game of choice. I eviscerated people.
You did? You did really well?
I eviscerated AI opponents on very easy.
You didn't play online or anything.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I would never subject myself to that. I'm so bad that those.
How bad are you?
Listen, Steve. There was a woman who was very mean to me on the internet this weekend, so I am doing everything I can to not be on the internet.
I want to hear about this.
I forgot about this. This could have been we could have led with this. No,
we could lead with Chris thinking all art is shit.
I don't think all art is shit. I think shitty art is shit.
All right. Well, it's like your opinion, man.
So I've been working on my author business. And I am part of a couple of communities that are based around the courses that I've been taking. And I went on to one of those on the Facebook. And I asked for some advice. I said, look, I am so early in my development of this business, even though I've been writing and publishing things for a very long time. But I'm saying, look, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's become obvious to me over 15 or so years that I don't know what I'm doing. So how do I get, I think the question was something like, how do I get from $0 a month to $1 a month? Like how, like I'm talking like baby steps. Like how am I going to do this? And a lot of people came back with some very good advice and were very kind about it. And this one woman decided to go read my bio on Amazon, which is attached to my books and whatnot. And she comes back and she writes, well, it says it all right there in the first line of your bio. And then she quotes the first line of my bio, which I don't remember off the top of my head. And she unquote, she has, you are, and then in all caps, not writing to market, which is a term that authors, that makes sense to you, writing to market, or should I explain?
You're not writing to make money?
Writing to the market would be a better way of saying. So identifying what people are buying and writing that. And that is what a lot of these people are doing. And a lot of people are interested in doing it. And I'm interested in exploring how could I take what I'm doing and putting it into a more marketable package.
I'm interested in this.
But the way that she phrased, so you are, and then she went on like a couple more lines, but just the way that she phrased it was so mean. I've been thinking about it ever since, and I was ready to give up writing this morning because I was so overwhelmed. And I mean, I'm ready to give up writing a lot. I never will, but it was so just like, by contrast, every other person who offered advice was kind, and maybe they were saying the exact same thing, but they had read my whole post in which I said, I've got these books now, which I know are not the books that are going to sell me a bunch of copies because they're not written in popular genres or whatever. So
apparently you're the number one in all the genres.
I do have a free book out there right now, and I ran a promotion, and I was number one in lesbian fiction, and number one in time travel fiction, and number one in something else for a day.
Just the day?
I was number one in 2 out of those 3 for 2 or 3 days, but one of them I started creeping downward. Had more than 1,000 downloads on that one day. But the idea of selling a book for free is that you hook people on the free book, and then
you get them a speedball.
Yes. No, you get them to read the next book, but that works better when you've got more books. Right now I've just got 2. I've got another one in the pipeline, but it's not out yet. And a lot of people, a lot of readers that like to read series, they want to see multiple books in the series. Advice I got from some folks is that there are readers who won't even look at a series until it's done because they've been burned too many times by the George R.R. Martins of the world.
Or Robert Jordans.
Yeah, who don't finish their shit.
Or Ichiro Oda.
So anyway, the woman said that one thing, and I said, thank you for your feedback, and moved on. But it was
thank you for your service.
Stuck in my craw ever since, and I'm working on getting over it. But I don't have therapy until like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Well, maybe is that the kind of thing that in your bio, if someone was to stumble upon it, someone would rather not look at your books if they saw something like that?
No, I think the line that she quoted has actually been by other people stated as one of their favorite things about how I've re-summed up what I'm doing, right? And so it was this one person's opinion, but because it was negative, just threw me for a loop. So I care too much what other people think.
Every once in a while, Chris, someone's going to say something negative. Like, I think you threw out a call for people to review the book. And since I did not read it, I could not do that because I don't read books. Because they're all shitty and dumb, especially yours.
Well, thank you for that. I admire and I appreciate your candor.
No, I don't know that your book is shitty or not because I haven't read it. I think Becky did, so she could possibly.
Right. I did get an Facebook message from a friend of the show.
A friend of the show?
No, well,
I know who you're talking about.
Who is trying to find a good Wi-Fi spot or a good connection, and then says that she and her companion will post
her hairy companion.
Her hairy companion. Her very hairy companion.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I think very hairy companion is a.
I want Super Mario 65.
Oh, just Super Mario 65. I was looking at the whole sentence. I was like, that's long. All right, I think Super Mario 65 might be a good contender. But I'm gonna put very hairy companion in the
notes.
In the notes. So, Steve, we were going to talk about something entirely different.
We
had a plan. Well, I guess I could mention, since my book isn't doing terribly well in terms of stuff. My audiobook, on the other hand, that's the only place where I'm making money right now.
Gangbusters, look at that.
Not gangbusters, but compared with everything else.
If you like listening to shit.
Yeah. But I am
get the audiobook and how about this? You could get like a Kindle version or like the real life version of the book.
Yeah.
And you could get the audiobook and you could read along.
Yep. If you get the Kindle version and the audiobook version, you can use the Whisper Sync functionality.
And if you're like not a native English speaker, you could get both.
Yep.
And then you could hear how those words sound. While you're reading along, and
I'm teaching people English.
Right.
That's.
You're doing a fucking service to humanity, Chris.
Wow, I feel so much better.
All they have to do is buy your book and your audiobook.
Yeah, that's a small price to pay. No, but I'm also I've been exploring my art side as we've talked about, starting with my boob grabbing image on Instagram, which you have given me no end of shit about.
Yeah.
over the year or so since I put that up. It's not up there anymore.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. But I decided people value art more than they value words. And so I might try to make some money that way. So there's
what if the things that people want you to draw are just penises?
I could do penises if that's what they want. The prices that I put up there were $50 for a character portrait or $100 for a 2-character portrait. And if what they want is a portrait of somebody's penis, I will be happy to oblige for $50.
Is that $50? You can't give them a bargain, like $25 for just an appendage?
All right. So if they say all I want is a penis, right?
Like a $10 penis? $10 penis deal?
Then I will
throw in some fries, make it a combo.
And be like, look, I am willing to give you the you just want the dick, and they'll say, "Yep, all right. Well, I'll refund you because right now you got to pay up front. So I'll refund them the $40, and they'll just pay me. The grand total will be $10, and I will give them a penis, not my penis.
Are you gonna go online and get some look at some nice shots,
Well,
so you can get something, to
something realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, there
or
are
you could just do what I do and just draw the sort of the half of bone, half a dog bone shape, and then like the little mushroom
Little
head,
mushroom
and
head.
then just put like the little
yeah.
hairs come
I
out of the
see-
ball sack.
There are two options on the site where you can buy the art right now, which right now is echristopherclark.square.site, and I'm gonna figure something out about that. But
You put a link on the website and in the show notes,
Yeah,
or on the podcast notes, or whatever the fuck.
I will try to do that.
There's going to be a link there.
There'll
You can
be a
click
link
right
this
on
time,
it, and
which
you can
will
be like,
at horriblyofftopic.com/264.
just jam that I want all the cocks button.
So what I'm saying, so right now the only two options are single character portrait or multi-character portrait. And there are questions there that a hair color, eye color, whatever. I suppose if you wanted
Ball hair color.
if you wanted a penis, you could just fill in circumcised, uncircumcised under eye color instead.
Or you could be girthy member in underpants.
Girthy member in underpants. I'm writing that down. Girthy member in underpants. Yeah. So, what style of underpants are we talking? Boxer briefs? Are we talking boxers? We talking?
Well, if we can ever
tiny
get them to
whities?
advertise Me Undies, of course,
Yeah,
because they're 3 times softer than cotton. And they cradle your balls.
I like making art, so I was like, maybe this will be a way. If I could start to make some dough off of the art, then I can keep writing, and maybe eventually I can cut back on the if I really made a lot, I could cut back on the number of classes I took because I was drawing all these dicks.
Yeah.
Although I'd be to be fair,
What if your
I would
students
be
were
3D
like
modeling the dicks and then rendering them and then photoshopping them to glory.
I think you should do like a cell shaded kind of like cartoony dicks.
Oh, okay, cartoony dicks. And now, do I allow people to state whether or not they want the dick to be hard or soft?
Yes.
Okay. Do I allow them to say?
I don't
if
know if a
there's
lot of people
anything-
are like, if they want like drawings of dicks, they're going to want flaccid penises.
Okay. So do I ask them if they want anything emanating from the penis, or is that like that's an extra fee?
No. I mean, like, I think this is something you're just going to have to negotiate.
Okay. All right. But it's a possible avenue for stuff, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't say I don't want to draw dicks, because you're going to get a lot of requests.
I want a dick. I
want a new dick.
I've been saying that ever since I was a little boy. I was like, wow, I thought boys were supposed to get and I was like, I just want a dick. It would be nice to have a dick. Wouldn't it be? No. Isn't it awfully nice to have a penis?
Yeah, that's a Monty Python.
Isn't it frightfully good?
No. Don't sing the whole song.
You piece of pork.
The people know it, and if they don't know it, they can look it up. Eric Idle sings a song about penises on In the Meaning of Life.
Yeah, there's another song about penises called "Detachable Penis" by
King Missile.
King Missile. That's right. You could be rocking a King Missile situation over there.
I remember, like, I think I read somewhere that I think the Dead Milkmen were allegedly supposed to have written that song or whatever, and like, they didn't.
Okay.
And but a lot of people kept on attributing. I think it might have been in the Napster days.
Oh,
they were attributing that song to the Dead Milkmen, and they were like, we did not do that song.
Were they saying it in like an angry way, like we don't want to be associated?
No,
with
no,
it
it was just like like when I think
credit where credit is due.
Yeah, like the band was King Missile. It was not us. And just like Morning Zoos do like bad parody songs all the time, and like and I think on Napster there would be like songs about cooking cats at Chinese food restaurants, and Weird Al's like, no, I didn't do those songs.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Those were the days, weren't they? The Napster days. I mean, you could get anything you wanted, but it was like mislabeled and
do you think people,
sometimes incomplete.
I think people realize that Family Guy, the beginning of Family Guy, was just kind of like an ode to What the fuck?
To Napster?
No,
No.
the
Detachable penis.
no. God damn it! The fucking All in the Family.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I've never seen Family Guy. I haven't. I've never seen Family Guy. I mean, I vaguely know the characters, but
You've never once in your life watched the opening theme to Family Guy.
no. Why are you surprised?
I don't understand how like your TV has like TBS and TNT on it like it should have accidentally crossed your vision one of like
when did Family Guy start?
In 1990 I think 98 99.
Oh, okay. Well, I was in college. I didn't have cable in college, and then we did we have cable at our first apartment? We probably had cable for
it was
a
on
little
Fox.
while. It's basic cable. I'm just saying, like we
No.
didn't
Fox is not a basic cable station.
We did not watch a lot of regular TV ever as a couple.
No, but like even the did you watch The Simpsons?
No. I mean, I watched The Simpsons when I was younger, but I wasn't watching The Simpsons regularly anytime after high school.
All right.
I mean, I'm uncultured.
Yes, very. You hate all art.
I
you
don't hate
watch
all
television.
art. I hate bad art.
You like three Marvel movies, and you watch them every day
Right.
while you jack it.
Yes.
Oh wait, while you don't jack
Well, I don't jack it, and I think soccer is not a sport.
it. Yeah, you have very unpopular opinions, Chris.
I
Maybe we should write a list that you will ignore of movies and shows that you maybe should check out.
I have a list. So I started. So I have. I wonder if my IMDb profile is accessible. I don't know if that's a thing. So I realized, I already use IMDb to look up things when my dad swears somebody was in a movie and he's wrong, and I want the proof. So what I realized is, you can keep track of things you want to watch on IMDb, and that could be my canonical place where I write stuff down. So I'm clicking over to my watch list right now. I am IMDb/user/UR15374173.
Write that down, folks.
I currently have 37 titles on my watch list, and that is incomplete. Oh, I watched Little Women. I should check that off.
The old Little Women or
No,
the new Little
one. And I can take it off my watch list because I watched it. Let's see. Westworld. In the Heart of the Sea is on there. Mandalorian, Stranger Things, Watchmen, The Boys. I would like to see that. Derek Robertson. That's where after New Warriors, years and years after New Warriors, Derek Robertson co-created The Boys, which is the basis for the Amazon series of the same name.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's see. Now I'm getting back to some of the. I've seen that fucking movie. Why is that on my list? Anyway, Birdman still on there. 12 Years a Slave.
Like the series or the movie?
Birdman the movie. Birdman or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
And not Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
No.
Or the original Birdman series.
No. Yeah. I have Godfather 1 and 2 on there. Band of Brothers. No. These are things I had never seen.
You have seen Godfather 3, though.
No, I haven't, but I didn't put it on the list because people said don't watch the third one. So I could put it on there, but I don't. So this list is very incomplete. I'm going to have to polish this up. But never seen the fine animated classic known as Family Guy. Is that still on?
It's still on. It's occasionally funny. It's occasionally not funny. Like,
do you think that and The Simpsons will ever go off the air?
Yes. I'm hoping that The Simpsons goes off soon.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I'm kind of sick of watching it.
But you'll keep watching it,
right?
Until
there was a very I think maybe 2-year stretch where I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's I think it was around the time we started doing the show was when I kind of picked it back up.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't watching it for a little while there.
I keep thinking The Simpsons is Disney's secret weapon to get their theme park rights back. This is a theory that I had recently because The Simpsons is currently a whole area.
Went a whole week. Wait, we haven't gone a whole week not talking about Disney, but
Well, but Disney is one of my interests. You say I'm not interested in anything. Disney is one of my interests.
Expand beyond the realm of Disney.
Well, Disney.
I mean, it's hard to.
They keep buying shit. I can't. It used to be I liked Disney and Marvel and Star Wars.
Now they're all the same thing.
Yeah. But so
now you can just sit there and not jack it to all those things.
At Universal Studios Orlando, there is a section that is The Simpsons. So it's got a big Simpsons ride.
Spoiler alert.
Yes. And then it's got a smaller ride that is themed around the aliens, the green alien guys from The Simpsons.
Kane and Kodos?
Yes. And then it's got a whole other area where there's like food carts and statues of, it's like a mini Springfield, right? And that's at Universal Studios. But Disney, having bought Fox, owns The Simpsons, right? Okay. So Universal also has the Marvel section in their Islands of Adventure, which hasn't had anything updated in a decade or more because Disney owns the rights and they are not going to give any updated material. So it looks like a shitty Marvel cartoon from the mid-90s is what that whole section looks like.
Come on, the X-Men.
Not that. It does look like that one, which is not a shitty one. I mean, it has its problems, but no, but it looks like other ones that came in the wake of that. I don't know. It's just, it's great.
That's on the Disney Plus. You can watch that series.
You can watch Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
I don't know that one.
That's with, you don't remember that one from when you were a kid? That's Spider-Man and Firestar, who went on to be in the New Warriors, and Iceman. And like their roommates. Or
remember,
whatever.
I'm 2 years younger than you.
This was odd. Okay, maybe I don't know. I remember it being on like Saturday mornings or something. But
yeah, but like the time in which you remembered it might have been when you were really young,
right.
When John and I were even more really.
I mean,
young.
it's very dated in terms of its animation and whatever. At any rate, I have this theory.
Do they have the old Spider-Man series where he's like?
They do have a bunch of them. I don't know if they have
like the
1960s
or 70s one.
I think so. I think they do.
Do they have like the Japanese Spider-Man series where it's like a precursor to like a Kamen Rider kind of thing?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. But they do have The Simpsons, and if they sold The Simpsons to Universal in exchange for so that Universal Studios would own The Simpsons and could put it on their NBC app, which I'm sure they want to do because they need stuff for their app in the streaming wars.
That would be fucking nuts if, like, after 30 years of being on Fox, The Simpsons end up being on NBC.
Maybe they wouldn't do it until after it was done. But what I'm saying is that if you're Disney and you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out a way to get the rights to build a Marvel land in Florida, which you're not going to get unless you make a big deal with Universal Studios, you go, all right, here is the entire 30-something years of The Simpsons. Give us our theme park rights back. So you get to have The Simpsons on your streaming service and make all the fucking money off of it. And you get to keep they'll get to keep their Simpsons area of their park anyway. But you get to have the whole synergy. Just let us have our Marvel land back. I don't know.
I mean, I imagine this keeps you up at night.
Well, it does. It's.
I mean, like I'd understand if I was into theme parks as much as you are.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I think they could or should do is apparently DC Comics not in great shape. So I think SEC. Well, I don't know if they would get involved, but somebody should get involved if Disney tried to do this. But Disney buy DC Comics. Which nobody should let them do because it is the only other major comics manufacturer.
I mean, Image still exists, right?
Image still exists, and they are a distant third. But in terms of like, if you were looking at antitrust, anti-competitive stuff, like they shouldn't be allowed to do it.
Well, this administration is really concerned about that.
But if they bought DC Comics and then sold DC Comics to Universal, said, here's a whole bunch of fucking superheroes. You can redo your superhero island with Batman and all of that shit.
Yeah, let's let them do that. We don't need competition anymore.
No, well, the other thing that I hope is that Universal just buys DC Comics, right, from Warner Brothers, and that they go ahead and put...
And they sink a bunch of money into that sinking ship.
Yeah. Well, not that they... I don't want it to fail. I want DC Comics to... I mean, Batman and Superman are good characters. The rest of them can...
Well, the comics are fine, I'd imagine, but...
Yeah.
But, well, I don't know. I've never really read any
I didn't
DC
really
books, but...
The movies around those two characters can be good. And Wonder Woman, the first one, was good.
I don't know.
And,
I don't know if the new one will be, but,
right.
you know.
So between those three characters, I feel like you could... You know, Universal probably doesn't want to give up and doesn't want to close down part of their Islands of Adventure park.
Where is she?
But they could put Batman and shit like that in there. Although I think all the Batman rides and crap like that are at Six Flags.
Ah, shit. Then you'd have to buy out more theme parks, and then everything would have to be Universal parks out there in Western Mass, where Riverside used to be.
Have you been out there?
I went to Six Flags like maybe in 2001. I was supposed to go.
I haven't been in a very long time.
I was supposed to go for a work outing the year we got married, but it ended up being the weekend after I got my wisdom teeth out, and I you know, I had no fucking desire
to go ride roller coasters.
To go ride roller coaster. Well, actually, I was still like kind of like drooly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because we were in the midst of buying buying this house. Like we're about a month out from that, and I think I had to go to the bank with almost complete inability to talk to ask for a cashier's check so we could give it to the folks as the down payment on the house, or the first part of or whatever the fuck you have to do when you buy a house. People. Don't buy houses. It's a pain in the ass. Just rent forever, whatever.
Yep, I won't ever buy one again. I mean, Steph wants to buy one, but I if it were up to me, I would not buy ever again.
Well, just wait till the market crashes again.
that tended to be when we would refinance, and realize we were up. I don't know.
No, you don't refinance when the market crashes. You refinance when.
Yeah, I know. We were stupid. I think we refinanced right before the market crashed.
That's good. Well, then your house was worth something, so you got some equity in it. So
I don't know. That must not have been what we done. We whatever was stupid. That's what we did.
Okay.
I'm just gonna write.
Well, apparently this is the time to refinance because good old coronavirus is making the Fed lower interest rates again.
I have such faith in our government, don't you?
Well, I mean, the Fed isn't actually our government.
Okay. Well, yeah, but doesn't he appoint the fucking chairman of the Fed?
Yeah, but it's supposed to be autonomous.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, although does whatever the president says.
Steve, I think we should talk about something else rather than the president. And what I think we should talk about is Lego.
Okay.
I think, given that it's 43 minutes into the show and our topic, our nominal topic was going to be
people
Masters.
Don't know that it was the topic because we never said it.
But I'm saying it now. I'm ruining the illusion. I'm pulling back the curtain.
All right. Well,
we were going to talk about Lego.
I told you, we didn't need a fucking topic.
Apparently, you were right.
Yeah.
But what did you want to say about Lego? Lego Masters was what you told me to write down.
It's a new reality show.
Oh, I love them.
Right, either before or after The Masked Singer.
Oh God.
We don't watch it when it's on. We just watch it on Hulu the next day.
Our society is so fucking stupid. I mean, reality. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's good. The Masked Singer's good. It's got a doctor in Ken Jeong, and then also Jenny McCarthy, who believes that. That vaccines cause autism.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So this is on. It must be on Fox.
Yeah.
I imagine. Yep. As every stupid thing is.
But then Lego Masters has Will Arnett as the host. He was on Arrested Development.
That guy.
He was in fact Lego Batman.
That's right. Does he do the voice on the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where is she?
So it's a reality show. Is it
Yes.
a competition?
It's a
or
competition reality
okay.
show.
So it's not like they're following Lego people around to see what happens when Legos stop being polite and start getting real.
That was sort of funny.
Hey, you heard it here first.
You got a win for today, Chris.
Okay, so what? How does it work?
So it's basically they give them like an absurd amount of time, which ends up not being enough time. Like they're like, okay, this one you have to build like a interesting architecture, and you have 14 hours. And I'm like, what? But apparently they come down to the wire almost every single time. And then like this past one, like they had to build a building.
Okay.
And then when they were done after that 14 hours, they were like, okay, we're going to give you 4 more hours to create some sort of disaster that's going to affect your building. They're like, what?
14 hours. So
that's 18
are they building,
hours.
They're not building from kits. They're building like what's in front of them when they get the task?
They just have like a seemingly endless supply of Lego bricks
Okay.
of any shape, size, and color.
Wow. Okay. So I joke, but this actually sounds like one reality show I might be interested.
Well, I mean,
in
it's still full of reality tropes.
Yeah, which
like,
would drive me nuts.
Yeah, you'd be like, and every like the way people talk, like when they're just like talking to each other, it's like the people that were like filming them were like, can you do that again? Only like make it seem really forced.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because we don't want people to think you're having genuine conversations or anything.
No, never. We wouldn't want reality TV to be real.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird, like the things that they choose.
It's weird that reality TV took off, and yes.
No, because it's like, well, at
our
least
society's full of idiots. So
at least
no
not
wonder.
I mean, I think the original Real World, they did do a lot of filming or taping or whatever, and they took that, everything that happened and then it was like, bah. But like, I think a lot of what happens in
Why do you have a beeper? Are you a drug dealer?
Is that something
That's from the original Real World. That was one of their big moments.
Was he?
What was he? No, he was not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the fucking Real World.
He was a black man. He went on to be, oh gosh, what was his name? Kevin. I think it was Kevin. Went on to be a pretty well-known writer for, I don't know if it was Spin, or he was a well-known music writer after the Real World.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was not a drug dealer.
Cool. He was a doctor. Just like Ken Jeong.
Oh, and just like Ken Jeong.
Very unlike Jenny McCarthy.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Jenny McCarthy.
No. if I went to
somebody gave her an honorary PhD and we had to start calling her Dr. Jenny McCarthy.
If I went to an ER or something like that, like, here's your Dr. Jenny McCarthy, I'd be like, yeah, no, I got to get out of here. This wound will heal itself.
Funny how if you had asked us that back when we were teenagers and Jenny McCarthy was a fixture in Playboy, it'd be like, so Jenny McCarthy is your doctor. It'd be like, okay.
I don't know. Like, I remember watching Singled Out on MTV.
Yes.
And I remember
with the guy from Nerdist, or formerly of Nerdist.
Yes,
right?
Chris Hardwick.
Yeah.
I remember watching that, and I remember there was a time, and I will refrain from saying who the person was that we were trying to get to leave Yucko's house.
Okay.
But a bunch of us were in the basement, hiding, waiting for him to leave. And there was 2 phone lines in the house, and one of them had a line in the basement. So we could call. We kept on calling from downstairs.
Yeah.
Calls coming from inside the house. We kept on calling from downstairs and being like, "What the fuck? Why is he not gone yet?"
Yeah.
And one of the things Yucko said was, "We've been watching Singled Out. I don't know why he's not leaving."
So yeah, not big Jenny McCarthy fans.
I mean,
again, the 2-year age difference. Jenny McCarthy and me were.
I don't think she's unattractive, but
also I thought she was entertaining on Singled Out. Like, and I think that is that age difference.
I think.
Or just that I had bad taste.
I think she just was trying too hard, and I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah. I had a Jenny McCarthy DVD.
Um,
Oh, it was.
can you elaborate, Chris?
It was
you brought it
her-
up, so
it was her. It was a Jenny McCarthy Playboy. No, it wasn't a DVD. It was a like video CD or like a CD-ROM.
okay.
So it was like that in those days. And it had clips, like video clips from her various Playboy shoots.
Oh, so it
I
was,
stored it alongside my porn that I did not use.
but it was a little bit. It was subtle porn.
yeah.
It was just as the French say, tiddies.
Yeah. No. So Jenny McCarthy. Oh my goodness. But then she had to go crazy.
And marry Donnie Wahlberg. I don't know
Is that who
which
she
came
did?
first.
Well, she dated Jim Carrey for a while, right?
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah. I don't think he's an anti-vaxxer.
who? Donnie Wahlberg?
No, Jim Carrey.
I don't know. Well, did they have kids together?
No, but
Didn't he have a kid
No, I don't.
prior to?
I can't remember. I just know that some of that around her came up at the time that they were dating. But I don't recall, was ever one that was saying it. But of course, he was implicated by the fact that
association?
he put the penis in her.
Now he just does crazy paintings.
Oh yeah. So what were we talking about?
I have no idea. Legos.
Legos. Yes. Yeah. So Jenny McCarthy and Lego. Oh, reality TV, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, but it has all the tropes. It can be like that's one of the things about the Great British Baking Show that I love so much. It it just seems more genuine. And when people are saying silly things, they're like, I believe that they're saying that.
Yeah.
And like, unlike other reality TV, I actually care about most of the people. They're not like just obnoxious stereotypes of human beings. They're actually just human beings.
Right.
And like occasionally there's one that I'm like, ugh, I want this one to go. And luckily they usually do early on. And then so like when the person gets kicked off that week, you're genuinely bummed out every time,
right?
Because you legit love these people.
Yeah, that's on the baking show.
Like that is like that is something I will always wholeheartedly recommend people watch as far as reality, like competition cooking, whatever, blah 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 show. Yeah. And then you watch a thing like Cupcake Wars or something like that, and it's garbage.
Oh, but that's what my kids love to watch, Cupcake Wars.
And it's just like it's the same episode every time, and I've watched a bunch of them, and I don't know why because it doesn't have the night. I think I sort of weaned myself off of it, but like it doesn't have the like But it's like they're both baking shows, and they both are reality based, but like I don't know.
Yeah, reality based baking, as opposed to
free base. Do.
So, were you a big Lego person growing up, or are you more into this just because of Lego and you like tend to find a reality?
I like the way that they're talking about it and how everybody like they have like these. It's called Lego Masters, but like they have these like Lego architects that are the judges.
Yeah,
they're people that I guess are famous in the Lego community. But I did not realize that it was this big of a following. Maybe that's because when I was growing up and when I was playing with Legos, there wasn't an internet.
Right. I remember not having Legos. Was one of the things that I remember. I don't know if my parents decided they were too expensive or what it was.
They are pretty expensive.
My brother and I had Constructs, which was not like Legos at all, but like you were still building stuff.
You could build robot kind of thingies.
Yeah,
but they had like a mechanical aspect to them.
Right. Yes. But that's why I think I found it so mesmerizing when. So you and my brother had a friend, Paul, who I'm friendly with as well, and he had an older brother, John. Not my brother, John.
I remember.
And the two of them had.
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want I loved being at Paul's house, and then. Either his dad or his mom would call down.
Yeah.
Be like, "Oh, Paul," and he would come up the stairs.
Yeah.
and they would talk for a second, then
Yeah.
he'd come back down. Hey, you guys want to stay for dinner?
Yeah.
Instead of just like shouting down, you guys want to stay for dinner? You had to get Paul to come up, ask him, and then
Hey,
have him
you
come
know,
back down and
to each their
be the official person, the official dinner inviter.
own.
Oh, Paul, that was it. That was the either Dick or Barbara.
I loved them. At any rate, I
But yes, Legos and
I first met Paul's older brother John when we started at middle school, so 6th grade back then, and I remember going over to their house, and not only did we had a Nintendo, but they had a Nintendo and way cooler games. They had a computer upstairs, which we didn't have, or maybe we had our Commodore 64, but their computer was way cooler.
what kind of chip you got in there? A Dorito?
You're using a 286? Don't make me laugh.
That song aged well, huh?
Hey, I still love that fucking song. But the pièce de résistance in their house, as far as I was concerned, was that downstairs in their was it the basement?
It was in the basement. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They had what to me in my memory was like a gigantic table with where you could build Legos, and I didn't have Legos, and I was just amazed at what they had. And I think ultimately I became that friend who, like, I was very friendly with both of them. Well, mostly with John, but I just wanted to play with stuff that John was like totally over, because like he had it all the time. And so like I remember going up, whether it was going up to their computer, and then like John would leave and I'd just be there playing on their computer by myself for a little while, or downstairs playing with the Legos. And I don't know. I feel like in hindsight I used my friend. And then, he realized he was way smarter than me and found better friends. And we didn't hang out as much anymore. But,
Aw, that's...
no, he wasn't mean to me in any way. Just like, I probably was using him to one extent or another. And he probably found friends who weren't. Yeah, it makes me sad.
And then you joined a band.
I joined a band. I didn't join a band until I was in college.
I thought you had some sort of something going on. I thought you were in something while we were still in high school.
I was trying to start a band, but I
oh wait, you had already left high school, so
yeah.
It might have been
like
when
right after I left high school was when my band formed.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like it was when we were still in high school.
You were still in high school.
So we
but
went to your show, but didn't
Yeah.
watch your show.
Yeah. Good for you.
Well, because Paul came over with his VHS of Japan stuff, and we were watching it
Yes.
upstairs.
That made it into... Actually, I don't think that bit has been published yet. So in one of my next couple of books, there is...
Frickin' Paul keeps on coming up.
There is a scene in which there's supposed to be a band show down in the basement of somebody's house. And a bunch of other people are upstairs watching Japanese videos on VHS.
Yeah, I remember it was like a bunch of like, I think it might have just been a game show or something.
Takeshi's Castle.
Was it?
Yeah. I had to look it up because I remember that very distinctly.
That's the show that they used like in Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
That's the most. What is that? Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
Why would you know about this? It's on Spike or whatever the friggin'
okay, all right,
the
yeah.
Man Network.
Yeah,
it was
they reused it.
They redubbed it
Okay.
with like raunchy stuff every 5
No,
seconds.
I think probably I did see that at some point.
Don't get eliminated.
Yeah. No, but I remember, and this is the part that I wrote into the story, is people shooting something at a guy trying to cross I don't know if it was a balance beam or like a rope bridge or something. And then one of them nailing him in the nuts.
That was that, and there was a lot of ads for CC Lemon, and I think it was a Doraemon cartoon or something.
Yep, those were the days. A lot of people came to that show, but not a lot. I mean, a lot of people came to the party where that show is happening, but not a lot of people actually saw the show.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next life.
We'll just
we had-
do
we
a
had-
reunion show, and the next time you guys are all in the same place, and then we'll all like invite all the same people, and then we'll all watch something else upstairs while you guys perform.
I just want to. You can find the show notes for this episode at horriblyofftopic.com/264. And if you would like to contribute to the show, you can by sending us an email to hot@horriblyofftopic.com or
The classic one, hot@clarkwoods.com.
yeah, and you can follow us on the Twitters, I guess. I stumbled us into this old style outro. You want to say your Twitter?
Yes, my Twitter is at Tuesday is loser. That's Tuesday. IS loser. All one word.
And I am at ECC Books.
Oh yeah, you changed it.
I did, because I'm an asshole.